So our next reader is Vanessa Veselka. She's been at various times a teenage runaway, a sex worker, a union organizer, a student of paleontology, an expatriate, an independent record label owner, a train hopper, waitress, and a mother. What? Pause. Pause.
We have another one before that.
We do.
Can I give you?
Oh. This is when Victor Ratzinger showed up. Elva, I was wrangled incorrectly or something. I blame you. No, I screwed something up here. No, I totally fucked up. Victor Ratzinger.
Bastard son of the Pope. Grandson. That's right. Am I the only one that got the costume party now?
You're the only one I told.
That always happens. Jeez. All right. Okay. So I'm here to confess. I'm a sensitive man confessing. That's my costume. Sensitive confession. You can tell the sensitive thing by the length of my hair. All right. The Native American galleries in the Portland Art Museum are dark and smell like wood. There's a small machine on a pedestal in every corner of every room. And it's brass and has a needle and a piece of paper running through it. And some people think it's art. They look at it like it's art. But that machine keeps track of air, moisture, and temperature are controlled to protect artifacts, to protect these Native American masks and baskets, and early American paintings in the other halls. And I've spent 20 years in that museum, in that controlled air, doing guard work, and I haven't changed at all. I'm either an old hipster or a preserved Portland artifact. So I'm standing there with the masks and the totems, and this one day I hear voices from other galleries going up and down. There's some disembodied sound telling me there's humanity out there, and I think, where are their fucking bodies? It's lonely work. I have this radio attached to my hip, and there are other guards and other wings of the museum, and every one of the guards has a radio, but we're not allowed to horse around and talk to each other. So our job is to stay away from each other, not bunch up. That's what management says. So I'm alone with my radio, and after what seems like forever, this one man wanders into my wing, and two baby girls kind of step and dance around by his knees, and he pulls them close and he says, "Don't touch anything." He's doing my job when he says that, my whole job. The secret true thing about me and about any art museum guard bored out of his mind is that we want somebody to touch the art. We want to hand a cop a feel. It'd be reason to bust out. It's our big moment to say, "Sir, please don't." The highlight of my 20 years in that museum was this one day I kicked out the same guy twice. He was maybe Samoan with a ragged scar down his cheek, and he went in the coat check and he stole my wallet. That's right, my wallet. Out of every valuable thing in that museum, he stole the security guard's booze and bus money, and I called the cops. The Portland jails are overcrowded, and the same guy was back by late afternoon, and I saw when he skipped the front desk, and I said, "Sir, you need to pay your entry fee." I'm not a big guy, but it's not a big town. He recognized me, and he turned and he walked out. But now this guy, the one that came in the gallery, I recognized him too. I recognized his profile immediately. He's not the thief. He spread a hand over one girl's blonde head like a hat, and I think, are those his kids? I still feel like a kid myself. All three stopped to look at what's called a transformation mask made out of wood and shells. The mask has wires, like a face puppet, to make it transform. It turns it from one person to another person. And I have this urge to say, "Hey kids, that's the face of Dzumqua, a witch. She eats babies." It's true. Hidden inside the mask, there's a second face that looks like John Waters. So it's a witch and it's a woman, but it's this guy too, because transformation can mean anything. But I don't say that. Security guards are invisible. We're not docents. Docents are there to lead tours. If you don't talk to a security guard, we can't talk to you. That's the rule. But that guy, I'll tell you, I met him at a Melvin's show in the 1980s. I was a security guard back then too, and I was in my uniform. Back then the uniform was this blazer and khakis, like some kind of prep school suit. Now it's all blue, more like a cop. So I'd gone to the Melvin's show right after work, and back then that guy called himself Rockhead. I get that that's not his name, but that's what he said. He made fun of my uniform and called me a rent-a-pig. Then he offered me weed to show that I wasn't, or to show no hard feelings, or I don't know what, but that was his thing, and I could hardly hear him over the Melvins, but I followed him out of the pit, then back away, and we ducked under a yellow length of dusty cop tape, and past this do not enter sign, and took a freight elevator, which was cool, but the elevator broke, so it was stupid, and it fell, and we were trapped, and we, punk rock drunks, practically bawled for our mommies. And I was wasted, and it was like I couldn't breathe, like there was no air, except there was air, and there was a space at the top where the elevator didn't line up with the floor. And that guy who called himself Rockhead said, "Get on my shoulders, I'll hoist you out." And I said, "Shit, no. If that elevator dropped again, it'd slice a person in half." So I was wasted, but not stupid. That's a survival skill. I put my head on the floor and passed out until the music stopped. We stayed there forever. It wasn't a controlled environment, not like the museum, but it was exactly the opposite, totally neglected. "They'll find us," he said. His breath was smoke and sour beer. Hours went by. I was in uniform, and my uniform was trashed, and I didn't even have my lame-ass radio. How did we live before cell phones? Randomly, that's how. So we smoked his weed in the elevator, and I'll tell you what, maybe you think if you were trapped for days, you'd know how to survive. You might think you'd drink your own piss, right? That's everybody's last survival secret, drink your pee. But here's what happened. Who packed the fucking pint glasses? How do you drink your pee? It's harder than you think to drink your own pee without a cup. It runs out of your palm, it slops on your face. So yeah, we drank pee, all right? We drank pee, but not our own. So what? I thought we'd die there. Maybe we would have. We needed each other. So he was this lanky guy body, and yeah, I drank his pee, and he drank my pee, and after what I think was a night and a day and a night, and I don't know. But we were trapped. And it was like we lived together. It was that intimate. There was nowhere to shit. So yeah, we fucked, we did. We were grinding. We were hopeful, and we were forgiving, and we wanted, yeah. So we were animals in a cage. But you know, as Liz said earlier, love is the thing that saved us. I can't hear the phrase man cave now without feeling weird. I'm a straight guy. I am. So in the galleries, I can't tell if he has holes through his lobes. He's in ordinary working shoes, not even toned down Doc Martens. It's cool to see him, yeah. And I rock up on my toes and I go, hello, I beam, hello. And he gives a nod that says, I've got the kids under control. And I know he hasn't seen me yet. He's only seen the uniform. And I think, touch the art would be reason to say something. He doesn't wear a wedding ring. Maybe those aren't his kids. He's like the queer punk rock uncle, right? He's thicker than I remember, and his skin is ruddier, and I say, rock gut. He says, girls, step back. And I say, remember? And he looks at me then with his gray eyes. I say, the Melvins. I haven't changed. His hair was dyed black back in the 80s. Now it's gray. His forehead is broader and going bald. He brings his eyebrows together. I say elevator, F-U-C-K. I spell and hope he'll laugh, and those girls are too young to spell. And he says, dude, wrong guy. He holds up his hands in a way that says no offense, but that gesture, it also says back the fuck up. And I don't have the wrong guy. I know I don't have the wrong guy. I know his crooked teeth and the curve of his spine. I was the one who started things. He was the one who saved us, risked his life, climbed out post-coitally. He did that for us. He climbed out of that slice of light at the top of the elevator. He got us out of that cage. This is my freedom, though, alone. If I let him go now, he'll be gone forever. He's pretending. I want one thing, more thing, one moment. So I trade the security of my security job for a gamble. I lace an arm over his broad shoulder. I move in close, mash my lips to his lips and force his mouth open, find his tongue. It's a risk. When he pushes me away, I fall into a pedestal so hard my hands slap the polished floor. And he looks past me at this woman, frozen with a coat check tag in her fist. And he shakes his head and gulps air, and his red face is this deeper red. And the tallest of those little girls reaches for his fingers, and his forehead wrinkles, and I see his chin shake, like he's about to cry. And then this invisible hand pulls the wires and snaps Rockgut's transformation mask closed. His face hardens and it ages, and I think, wait a minute, is that even him? We were so fucking intimate. How can I not tell if it's the same man? But I can't. And the woman with the coat check reaches to help him, and they're looking at me, and I see they're calling security on me, and I am security, and they're calling the front desk. So yeah, maybe it isn't him. But what I know is that I'm me, and I don't know how to save myself, to pull the strings, to put on a mask, and transform. That's it. Thanks.